Hello, Tim O'Kelly here. Hey, listen, this little video right now is just a quick message and a specific message around one idea, and that is energy/drive. How to increase our energy, how to have drive in our life. Okay, so before I jump right into that, just let me give you a little bit of a quick synopsis of myself. I started this work, personal development, in 1988, had never done anything like this before, was asked to take a course, and I went into that course, and I literally began to change my life, meaning I answered so many questions that I've had that no one could ever answer, the Catholic school couldn't answer, university didn't answer. This one course that I did really changed the way that I look at myself, the way that I look at people, the way that I look at the world. And I knew when I got out of class, I had to keep it going though. I know myself well enough. If I went back to the way that I was operating and the way I'd go back to that original way of thinking. And I didn't want to. That's why I changed careers. I wanted to get out of the career I was in to really stand for taking a new direction in my life. And I have been in this work ever since. Traveled all over this country, traveled all over Canada, on stage just about every week in front of hundreds of thousands of people through all these years. I am completely immersed in this work. I love this work. And I tell you what, it does take drive. It does take an incredible amount of energy. That's one thing I'm often asked. You know, I'm 56 years old, okay? Halloween's coming up in a couple of weeks, 2016, right? I'm 56 years old. I got a 24-year-old daughter. I have a 2.5-year-old son, and I have an 8-month-old son. Does that take energy? Yes, it does. Does it take a drive to get everything done? Yeah. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have the energy that I do. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have a drive to go do what I love to. That's, you know, and Warren Buffett says that whenever he interviews people for a job, there's 3 things that he's looking for. One of them is intelligence. One of them is integrity. And the other one is energy/drive. 3 things. He also said this. If the person doesn't have integrity, the other 2 will kill them. I always thought that was brilliant. If someone doesn't have integrity, but they got intelligence and energy, it can kill them, all right? So what we're taking on here is if you want more in your life, if you want to start building first story, a second story, a third story, meaning having a relationship and your business, that balance between them, having children, opening up another business, making a difference in the world, all of this requires literally an incredible amount of energy and drive. And you could probably go on YouTube right now, you could probably go on Google and look up how to have more energy. I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands of documents you can find on how to have energy. And you know what? I bet a lot of them are great. So all I'm going to do here is just add one that maybe we don't look at enough. You know, and we could make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're taking vitamins, make sure you're eating well. And I'm a fan of all of that. Sometimes I do better in those than other times. I believe in all that. But one thing I just want to touch on right now is it can be really frustrating if you're eating healthy, you're hydrated, you're taking your supplements, and you're living pretty good, and yet you're lacking drive. You're lacking energy. And this could be the one area that is missing. And so what I want to talk about this is that it's very simply called resistance. And I know that that's probably not in very many papers on how to have more energy. But I tell you what, this is one of the biggest energy sucks. It sucks. It pulls the energy out of us. And it pulls the drive out of us, even though we're doing good stuff over here. So what is resistance? Resistance, by definition, is not accepting what is. Now, I know that's a little bit, philosophical, so we can back away from that a little bit. I think an easier way to look at resistance is, I don't want to do this. I don't like this. I don't like the way you're doing this. I don't like this. I don't like the traffic. I don't like my boss. I don't like, meaning I want things to be different. And just think about this. How much of the world do we want to be different? There shouldn't be this going on. There shouldn't be this going on. Or how do you do it to yourself? I should be healthier. I should be happier. I should be more focused. I should have more energy. And every day that we don't, we're putting ourselves to an incredible amount of stress. Okay, so what I want to do is even back away from that just a little bit to that just simple idea of I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like what's going on. I don't like what's happening. You harness that right there and you take a look at that. Where's that most prevalent in your life? And I'm going to show you how to completely turn that upside down. And watch what happens when you can turn that upside down and have a complete different perception of it. Watch your energy level go through the roof. You can handle just about anything at that point when you got drive and you got energy. So I want you to just take a look at a simple day in your life. What do you resist? So let's take, I bet everybody who's watching this, if you've ever had a job, you probably had a job you didn't like. And I'm going to use this one. You can do this switch with every area of your life, okay? So you're working in a job you know is not going to be the job you're going to have forever. You got to have money. Your family's not giving you money. The world's not giving you money. You had to go out and get that paper out. You had to serve ice cream. Remember, we've all had those jobs, and if you haven't had those jobs yet and you're young, get ready for them. You're going to have them most likely. So there's one way we can approach it, is scooping out ice cream and being upset about it. All my friends are out playing, or everybody else is doing better than I am, or whatever, and we're actually engaged in something and we think that we don't like it. Oh, I hate this. Think about this. If you work 8 hours a day, thinking 8 hours a day how much you don't like this, by the time you leave work, you're exhausted. Isn't that not true? You are exhausted. You go home and you need your couch. And you might have family there too that need you, that depend on you, that you've been gone all day. They want the best of you. So to not have to come home tired, that's valuable in itself if relationships are important to you. So, paper out, walking around, not liking it. I shouldn't have to do this. I'm bummed. It's going to drain you. Even though you might be eating healthy, taking all your supplements, doing that, you can still be drained just by this state of resistance. So how do you shift it? That's what all these videos are for. Not just education, not just learning something, but very simple, applicable tools that you can do right now today to see a shift. And it all is a different perspective. And I know this sounds so simple. And you're like, well, you know what? That's just common sense. I heard this one day and it really rang true for me. Common sense is not common practice, right? Heard that from Brenda Bouchard. Common sense is not common practice. I went, that is so true. Just because it's common sense doesn't mean we do it. So, you're scooping out ice cream, okay? And if you're willing to make a shift and to find the opportunity in this, to find the value in scooping ice cream. Now, I know you're laughing at me maybe going, really? There's value? Yeah, there is. There really is value in having a job. And that's going to take maybe some courage to be able to do this. Yes, there's value in it. Someone's paying you. You're making some money. You're building up your career. You've heard this. If you're going to dig a ditch, dig the best ditch you can. Not because of the ditch, but because of what you're in practice for that's coming up in your life. You'll have the character. You'll have the training. You'll have the good heart about yourself that you did good on that job. You'll do good on the next job. If you don't like this, you're not going to like the next one either. So find value in it. Just stop for a little bit. Take 30 minutes and walk around and think, whatever's going on, there's value in it. Everything has value, and it's up to you to create that value. Nobody else is going to create it for you. But what is the value if you're bringing home some money? You know, I was raised with I couldn't afford it, we couldn't afford it, we couldn't afford it. I tell you what, when I got that first job washing dishes, Sleepy Hollow Restaurant, Tulsa, Oklahoma, I got a check and I went and cashed it and I had a little bit of money. And I tell you what, I was able to go buy those things that I heard from my mom all the time. You can't afford it, we can't afford it, we can't afford it. And I tell you what, I started building excitement. I started building some character and I went, hey, wait a minute. I ran out of money that day and I realized, wait a minute, I get paid again in 2 weeks. And I went back to work and I started working harder. Because I started the value. I started thinking of the things that I can get from this. I started thinking of things. How many times do you ever wake up and go, oh, I'm supposed to work out today, but I just don't feel like it? The only thing that's off is your perspective is off. You're looking at what it's going to cost you right now. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I just don't feel good versus what's the value of me working out? Just 30 minutes. What's the value? And once your mind starts to go to the opportunity or value, having a better body, being at other people looking at your body going, oh, that's hot, you feeling good. Once you start making that shift, you'll start to have energy. You'll start to have drive. So energy and drive are dictated by the way that you see your life, the way you see people. And you know what? The one thing that you can control and the only thing that you can control is the way you think. That's the only thing that you control. And you can think positive or you can think negative. And it is your choice. You want drive? Shift the negative to the positive. And you can do that. You can do that at any moment in your life. I challenge you to turn off this video and go practice that. If you ever find yourself feeling down, you got a negative perspective. Shift the perspective to a positive and watch. You'll have energy and you'll have drive. Go play with it, go practice it, and check out everything else we got. Thanks for stopping by.